Welcome back to another episode of Sweet Millionaire Formula, guys. I'm so glad you guys are here. This podcast is definitely for you. If you've been learning, if you've been following the brand, then I know you're truly impacted about what we're doing here at Sweet Millionaire Formula, getting you guys prepared for what it looks like to be generational wealthy, to be a millionaire, to have a millionaire mindset. And I just believe that when you talk about it, when you visualize it, when you see it, you put in the actions towards it, then it's 100% yours, okay? So today's topic, guys, we're talking about the benefits of owning a home or owning a rental property and how it has the possibility of yielding $1 million income and generational wealth that is unlimited. It has no caps about how much it can be, how much can be accumulated and how much can be made with real estate, okay? So before we get into how you're gonna capitalize on real estate, I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that in order to buy a house, you have to one go to sweetmillionaireformula.com and take our home buying courses. There's 3 courses to buying a house. There's 3 phases to buying a house that we thought that it would be best to put them in 3 phases because different people may be in different phases of buying a house or buying their first rental property, and we want to give you guys a step-by-step masterclass and courses that are geared towards you being able to pick up and buy the house from where you are. You may be in the very beginning process, which is like looking, scouting, getting your credit together, asking the questions, finding a realtor, and then some people may be in the inspection, um, how market the market and how to tell if it's a good market to buy a house, and then some people are maybe in like finalizing stages where they're closing a deal and getting the key. So for each phase that you're in of buying a house, Sweet Millionaire Formula has tailored the courses to be able to provide the expertise in home buying and rental buying, and so that you're able to take the funds that you have. See, some people have like goals that are not really specific. And one thing when you creating your specific goals, you want to have SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, measurable. So when you planning out your goals and you're trying to buy your first house, please make realistic goals. Do not, and I'm not, this is a thing too. When you are getting ready to buy a house and you're looking to buy a house, and when I say buy a house, I'm telling you guys that buying a house itself is generational wealth. But buying a house, paying off your mortgage, keeping the house is what sustains you and gives that house more value to be passed down to the next generation. Because even if they don't stay there, if you're renting that house out, say you bought the house $200,000, pay that off in 10, 12, 15 years, however long it takes you to pay your mortgage off. And then instead of selling that house for an increased rate of $315,000, which is just only $100,000 profit, you want to keep that house in your family, rent that house out, and now you have equity. You can pull $100,000 of equity out of the house while you're continuing to rent the house. And whenever you rent the house for, you're paying off that home equity loan that you pulled out of it. You're paying that home equity loan back, and you're still generating generational wealth for your family. So buying a house is definitely the most important key in building generational wealth, and it's the most realistic. And I feel like people think that they have to be real estate agents. You do not have to be a real estate agent to buy a house. You do not have to be a real estate agent to sell a house. Being a real estate investor is simply you having the capital and the infrastructure to buy a house, invest money in it. If you're going to buy a house, say you're buying a house for $100,000, right? And you put 50K into it, and the profit of selling is $180,000. You're not only are you making that $150,000 that you put back into it, which gives you the more money to buy another house and do the same thing again, but you're profiting $30,000 from a flip. Flip and renovate, Flipping and renovating houses is the most lucrative form of real estate investing that exists. And I believe that if you are taking our courses on sweetmillionaireformula.com, our home buying courses, then we will give you the tools, the step-by-step tools to, if you're generating 40, 50, 60, 70, however much money on your monthly income, and you have money aside that you're ready to invest into a house, you put up $15,000, $20,000, you buy your first house. this is the house that you build your starter home with. You move your family into, you are paying, you're building that equity up for a couple years into that house. I would say, because if you listen to our last episode, you know that if you get paying your life insurance as well, then you know you have access to nearly $200,000, $100,000 or more from your life insurance policy, and another $100,000 or more in equity from your house. So starting, the thing about it is, you're afraid to start, and you don't have to be perfect to start, but you do have to start to be perfect. And I think that that's what separates our community from the rest of these communities, is that we're showing people from where they are how they can reframe their mindset, reframe their money, use their credit to provide a life for themselves that they, it may not look like you're going to be successful now, but 5, 6, 7, 8, those 8 years that pass by, it's going to tell and it's going to show who took these courses and used them for the maximum income, who took these courses and used them for the maximum return on generational wealth. Generational wealth, when you break it down, is home buying, is investing, is credit recovery, is investing into your digital literacy, is using your passive income, your passions actually, to create digital income, having a website, being able to write books, have your intellectual properties that make up your wealth, are some of the key values of generating generational wealth. Those stocks, those municipal bonds, those CD bonds, all of those things play a part. Your portfolio, your asset allocation, how does your portfolio stand up from being in your 20s to your 30s to your 40s to your 50s to your 80s? Having the proper knowledge is vital to you being able to have a maximum return on your generational wealth. And I believe that when you break the term generational wealth down, which we've done here at Sweet Millionaire Formula, we're not afraid to face the word generational wealth, and we're not afraid to know that it takes a roadmap, and I got it in an intentional desire to truly be wealthy, because we know that people that are wealthy, especially the Bill Gates, the Elon Musk, they're not walking around with their wealth on them. They're not walking around with Gucci bags, Gucci shoes, Gucci glasses, Chanel, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you will want to make sure that that stuff is being paid for through your business account, through your business, not that you having to spend your credit, spend your money on these things. You don't want to actually be wealthy instead of looking like you're wealthy. And I just think that one of the key things about Sweet Millionaire Formula is that we've broken down into roadmaps, step by step instructions and masterclasses, ebooks, webinars that show you and lead you and teach you the ways of becoming generational wealthy without you having to spend $100,000 in mistakes, without you having to spend the next 20 years with no direction. We are opening up the book to the knowledge. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. We're no longer is going to be accepted that, oh, I didn't know this, or oh, I didn't know this. We're teaching you the information here. And I think the great thing about it is that you have to stop waiting for somebody to save you. Nobody's coming to throw you a life jacket. The only thing that you have to do is change your mindset. Just as well as you can be poverty, and in poverty, you can be successful and be wealthy. So the difference is between your mindset, your actions, your intentions. Don't wait for people to come and save you. Save yourself by investing into your knowledge and increasing your capacity of what it is that you produce and how is it that you're serving the world. I believe that the most selfish people and the most arrogant people are the people who are sitting up high and looking down low on people when we're all the same people. I think that whenever you are getting to a certain level of wealth, and whatever you're getting to a certain level of influence, like for me, I believe that yes, rappers and NBA players and all this stuff should have these funds created where there's hundreds of millions of dollars in them, so that the communities that they come from, the rec centers, the impoverished, they know that they came from poverty and they know what those rec centers look like. Like P. Diddy is one of those people who goes back and creates the schools, and he extends the life jacket, he extends the lifeboat, he extends the help to his communities that allow him to um revitalize where it is that he came from. And I think if each person, each one teach one, if each person was dedicated and focused on the true nature of serving each other instead of trying to get all you can get, stuff your bag, and then run to the top of the hill and then be up there, I think it's just more of a abundance that comes when you serve people, because you don't know the cycle. You don't know how that cycle affects the next person, that person you provided shoes for, that community you went back and talked to the people for, the community you went back and showed them how to do this and how to do that. Even the people that you serve online and across the world, those people are being influenced with hope, inspiration. And I think that we all need that time and that moment to be inspired by somebody else. Now, with Sweet Millionaire Formula, I feel like the most impactful thing that we do is our workshops, is our being able to touch the community and change lives in our own neighborhoods. And I feel like because we use the power of the wealthy, we have 6 figure, 7 figure earner women and men who are in part of Sweet Millionaire Formulas board, and they are the people who allow us the freedom to go back and infiltrate into our communities and show different communities, different organizations how to do these workshops that are influential in their financial literacy, their digital literacy, their credit recovery, and all of those things. So I think that, yeah, being wealthy and creating generational wealth is is one thing, and I think that's where you should start, because you cannot help people if you're poor. Okay, I'm just like, you cannot help people if you're in need yourself. And if you are the person who's arrogant and selfish, then I don't want your help, because you're doing things for the wrong intention. You're doing things for to prop yourself up, when in actuality, people need a cycle of help, a cycle and generational cycle of help and hope and inspiration. So that's one of the main things that I wanted to talk about today, is definitely buying a house and the importance of being able to be a home buyer. You have to start framing your intentions and your actions that you do daily to meet the smart goals that you have. So if you're planning goals that are smart, that are measurable, that are attainable, that are relatable, that are measurable, if you have those type of goals, then your actions in your pocket should match the goals that you have. And that's the big difference in our company, is that we're showing you, with our wealth builders community, we're showing you that other people around the world, they have the same type of mentality that you have, and everybody is making intentional steps to change their actions to meet the demand of providing generational wealth. There's an abundance. In the Bible, it says, for the workers, the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. What does that mean? That means that not only is God exceedingly abundantly above provided everything that every single billions of people that would need on this earth, he provided all of that already. He doesn't have to create another earth for people to be blessed. There's an abundance out there. But the people who are willing to toil the ground, the people who are willing to dig, the people who are willing to be out there in a sweat and put in the work are few, because everybody is self idolizing. Everybody wants the attention. Nobody wants to serve. Everybody wants to be served. And I think that that leaves a shortage of the workers. Like you said, the harvest is plenty, but the workers are few. You have the ability right now to have faith in God that changes your perspective, that opens up your eyes for enlightenment, to show you that the abundance that you're looking for, God has it already. What he needs you to do is to tap into his kingdom. Seek ye first the kingdom and righteousness. And all of these things, everything that you can desire in your heart, will be added unto you. But you have to be willing to submit to the kingdom and righteousness first. And then that's when, with your relationship with God, it will show your evolution of who you are. It will show the things that you need to serve other people. It will come. God has people in places waiting for you to bless you. But you cannot outsmart God. What you have to do is abide in him. Let his word be in you, and your word, his word be in you, and take his word as the truth, and use it to maximize the capacity of what your life is supposed to look like. The day that you do that is the day that the arrogance drops, the selfishness goes away. You'll start to conform and shrink yourself all the way down, because you're supposed to submit your hand, to humbly submit under the mighty hand of God, and and in due time he will exalt you. For cast your cares upon him, for he cares for you. Everything that you could think about, everything you could imagine, God wants to do that and exceedingly above what you would have thought. So the day that you decide that wealth is your birthright is the day that you will reap the benefits and start to change your intentionality to be a generational wealth builder. So, guys, I want you to leave comments today. Tell me, what does it feel like to be a generational wealth builder, and how is it that Sweet Millionaire Formula courses, webinars, ebooks, how is it that the courses that you've taken, how have they helped you change your mindset and shift your intentions towards becoming wealthy, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in today. I will see you guys on the next episode.